A heartfelt welcome to Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Dr. Aseem Chauhan, a guest of honor, Professor Mike Hinchey, Ms. Shuchi Sharma, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Dr. Amit Jain, all deans, head of institutions, faculties, students, and all the international and national participants to the first ever virtual international conference organized by Amity University, Rajasthan since the pandemic, which aims to provide a platform for discussion, networking, and opening up possibilities to newer and more unconventional methodologies. As a tradition at Amity University, we start all our endeavors after seeking blessings from Almighty. The lighting of the lamp signifies the assimilation of knowledge and blessings. As a token of immense gratitude on behalf of all our esteemed guests who have joined us today, our team and one of our students, Ms. Kushbi Bansali, from first year program of Bachelor's of Computer Application of Amity University, Rajasthan, have compiled a simulation on virtual lighting of the lamp ceremony. May I request all our guests to participate in virtual lighting of the lamp, ceremonial lamp. I request my co-host to play the virtual lighting of the lamp. I now take the privilege to introduce Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, and Patron, ICGETEI 2021, Professor Dr. Amit Jain. Professor Dr. Amit Jain is currently Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean Faculty of Management, and Director, Amity Business School at Amity University, Rajasthan. Professor Amit Jain has been a visiting professor with University of Technology, UTS Sydney, Australia, Zekni Istvan University, Hungary, and Selanos University, Slovakia. Professor Amit Jain holds PhD from Sardar Patel University and has completed MTP from IIM Ahmedabad. Professor Jain is actively involved in teaching, training, research, and has been associated with various management and training institutes as a guest faculty. Professor Amit Jain has designed and conducted training programs and sessions for executives of various organizations, including IDBI Bank, Bank of Baroda, BKT Tires, JK Tires, JK Paper, JK Lakshmi Cement, Claris Life Sciences, Vida Clinical Research, Natraj Food, and many more. Dr. Jain has several publications to his credit and has presented research papers at national and international conferences. I request Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Sir and Patron for ICGETEI 2021, Professor Dr. Amit Jain, to deliver welcome address.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi. Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Aseem Chauhan, respected seniors from the group, Dr. Selva Murthy, President, Amity Science Technology Innovation Foundation, respected Group Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurinder Singh, respected Vice Chancellors of Amity Universities in India and overseas, distinguished guests, Professor Mike Hinchey, President IFIP, Ms. Shuchi Sharma, former Secretary Higher and Technical Education, Government of Rajasthan, faculty colleagues at Amity University, Rajasthan, the organizing team of ICGETEI 21, led by Dr. Manju Kaushik, Master of Ceremony, Mr. Ravi Verma, and most importantly, the participants of the international conference. A warm welcome to one and all. In Rajasthani, we say, Padharo Mahare Desh, Khamma Ghani, which is welcome to my country and many greetings. We all are aware of the immensely significant role entrepreneurs have been playing in shaping the economy of a country and their fruitful contributions as change agents in the improvement of the standards of living of many. In this direction, to deliberate on the various spectrums where entrepreneurship and innovation is creating a distinguishing mark, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all for this two-day international conference. With 175,000 brilliant students, 6,000 plus faculty members, scientists, 12 universities, 15 overseas campuses, 25 schools and preschools, and 1,200 acres of campuses globally, Amity is one of the India's largest education group. Amity University, Rajasthan is one of the largest campuses of the group in India, spread over 150 acres. AUR has world-class infrastructure and facilities scientifically and aesthetically designed for optimal use of natural resources. AUR Jaipur is considered a pioneer in the field of higher learning in the state of Rajasthan and offers postgraduate, undergraduate, PhD degree programs in engineering, architecture, management, mass communication, law, microbial technology, clean technology, ocean atmospheric sciences, and technology, to name a few. The conference would be an excellent platform for all the researchers and academicians, scientists, and budding entrepreneurs to present their outstanding work related to the various new trends in the area of entrepreneurship and innovation. It is said that groups become great only when everyone in them, leaders and members alike, is free to do his or her absolute best. The best thing a leader can do for a group is to allow its member to discover their greatness. I am very grateful for the vision of our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Aseem Chauhan, that motivates the entire team at Amity University to seek opportunities for learning and sharing their expertise with peers globally. As said by Mark Zuckerberg, ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started. I believe it is a great beginning to develop path-breaking ideas, and I hope that the efforts to bring together professionals and researchers on a common platform will give an impetus in overcoming critical issues and challenges in the field of entrepreneurship and innovation. The conference will bring forth latest trends in the domain of entrepreneurship, and by inclusion of advances in intelligent algorithms, the focus on sustainability and social business will help all the stakeholders to explore solutions for real-world problems. ICGETI specially encourages the young researchers to share their creative ideas and will provide an opportunity to all the participants to interact with experts from across the globe and diverse disciplines. I welcome all the keynote speakers and experts of plenary sessions. My best wishes to the paper presenters and all the delegates attending the conference. I'm also thankful to all our supporters, including CSIR, ISTD, Amity Innovation Incubator, IEEE, ACM, CSI, Yunus Social Business Center, STEM Research Society, NIT Jalandhar, and Springer Publication for their valuable contributions in making this conference a great success. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to all once again.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to introduce Organizing Chair, ICGETEI, Dr. Manju Kaushik. Dr. Manju Kaushik is Associate Professor, Coordinator, Amity Innovation Incubator Center, ECEL Head Faculty, Coordinator, IEEE and ACM Branch, Counselor and Technical Clubs, IEEE ACM, Branch Counselor, Amity University, Rajasthan. She was awarded PhD from Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur. Her research papers have been published in various journals and conferences of national and international repute, like IEEE, Springer, Elsevier, and others ICI Scopus indexed. Presently, she is the executive member at Rajasthan subsection of IEEE and ACM, life member of ISTE and CSI. She is editor of Scopus Index JCIT journal IGI Global. She has published 2 patents and has edited 2 books. I request Dr. Manju Kaushik to enlighten the audience about the conference.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. A very good morning and warm welcome to all the dignitaries, academicians, researchers, and participants to ICGETEI 2021. The day we conceptualized the theme of the conference, we were very enthusiastic regarding the fact that the conference would reveal the various spectrums of how entrepreneurship and innovation is shaping the globe economy. But we had never expected such overwhelming response from the side of academicians, researchers, and entrepreneurs from across the globe. With your keen interest in the conference, we have been able to receive an astronomical figure of 350 plus quality papers and the presence of eminent dignitaries from more than 10 countries to grace the moment. ICGETI is the first international annual conference by Amity University, Rajasthan that focuses on the upcoming entrepreneurial trends and innovations backed by the application of science and technology. The aim of the conference is to highlight the latest advances, problems, and challenges, and to present some of the outstanding research works going on in the field of global entrepreneurship trends and empowerment through innovations, with a link to scientific research and its practical implementation. The conference is an ideal platform for all the young researchers to present their thoughts and ideas related with the various dimensions of the field and to share their insight about the latest exploration. The conference consists of 4 tracks dedicated to cover a spectrum of subtopics under its umbrella. Track 1, Advances in Intelligent Algorithms and Industrial Applications, focuses on the latest advances, problems, and challenges and present the latest research result in the field of intelligent algorithms and industrial applications with a link to scientific research and its practical implementation. Track 2, Entrepreneurship and Innovation, focuses on the need to think out of the box. These tracks aim to explore unanswered questions like unequal growth of business in different areas. Track 3, Environmental Sustainability and Innovation, aims to bring together aspirants about around the globe to a common and vibrant techno-friendly platform and to provide a platform to endorse, share, and discuss current progress in different areas of sustainable development. Track 4, Social Business and Innovation, provides a common platform to exchange and discuss ideas in social business generation and their feasibility and accessibility. As a platform for exchanging ideas and networking, it's an ecstatic moment for us to witness a high entrepreneurial acumen budding inside today's youth. The figure is not only about technology, but about practices that ensure a sustainable environment. The conference employee demonstrate many such noteworthy efforts going on in the area of entrepreneurship and innovation. The conference proceedings shall be published with Springer and IJCA Foundation of Computer Science, USA. Practices and discussions like these will have a huge impact on how the future is shaped by us. Through such initiatives, we can ensure better living standards for our upcoming generations and justify the use of our resources. We are glad that all the participants and attendees sincerely understand the importance of it and take small steps in the right direction. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam. A stellar support system makes achieving goals much easier. I take the privilege to express gratitude for Honorable Founder President, RBEF and Chairman, AKC Group of Companies, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan. Dr. Chauhan, sir, a larger-than-life icon, is continuously creating history and setting new and higher benchmarks by conceptualizing, modernizing, and developing initiatives to promote amity with a belief that one should not follow where the path may lead. Instead, go where no path exists and leave a trail behind. We are informed that Honorable Founder President, sir, is attending another important meeting today, but he has assured to grace us with his presence and bestow his blessings and words of wisdom with us on the valedictory session tomorrow. I now take the privilege to introduce Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, the icon we all look up to for guidance and draw inspiration from, Dr. Aseem Chauhan. Dr. Aseem Chauhan is the Chancellor of Amity University and a trustee of the not-for-profit Amity Education Group, which includes 10 world-class universities, 25 schools and preschools, 150 top-ranked institutions, and 15 international campuses across London, Singapore, New York, San Francisco, Seattle, China, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Romania, Amsterdam, South Africa, Mauritius, Kenya, and Uzbekistan, and 50 campuses in India with over 175,000 students. Dr. Chauhan was a part of Champions of Change program of Prime Minister Modi, which involves private sector leaders in policy making. The Economic Times awarded him with Asia's Most Promising Business Leader Award 2019. Dr. Chauhan was conferred honorary citizenship of the ancient city of Olympia by the Greek government for significant contribution to global education. Dr. Chauhan was awarded the Game Changers of India 2018 award for driving inclusive education and entrepreneurship by Economic Times. Dr. Chauhan was listed amongst the 50 most influential young Indians by GQ magazine. He was awarded amongst the top 50 leaders under 50 in India by Asia One. He was conferred the Visionary Leader Award at the Africa Leadership Awards. Dr. Aseem Chauhan was recognized by News 24 channel in an honor Jashn-e-Yangistan for the youth of India contributing towards dynamic New India in 2019. Dr. Aseem Chauhan was awarded Urja Awards 2019 for excellence in education by Gravitas Foundation. Dr. Chauhan.
Mr. Ravi, thank you so much. You know, all you need to say is that I am one of the people dedicated to building Amity University in Jaipur to be one of the top leading institutions globally. That is the only introduction really that is required. And I'm delighted. Thank you so much, Ravi, for the introduction. But as you know, I prefer a briefer introduction, and I'm delighted to be here today. This conference on global entrepreneurship trends and empowerment through innovation is an excellent initiative. I am so proud of all of the organizers to put this together, particularly because it is absolutely aligned with the vision of Amity and the vision of our founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, to not only build Amity universities to be amongst the leading institutions in the country, but also to bring Indian universities generally to be amongst the front-ranking universities globally. That is our dream. That can we build institutions in India that over time, with very strong research and publication, can be counted to be amongst the top-ranked universities in the world. As we know, the definition of a university has been one with good teaching and learning, but at Amity we have put great emphasis that every university of ours has to be led with research and innovation. Because unless we are building bodies of knowledge from our universities, unless we are focusing on areas that can help solve the large problems of our society, then we are not doing our role and responsibility as a university to the full extent. And from the very inception of this young university, we have been very focused to make sure that we have the kind of faculty with us who are able to produce publications and patents and projects that are aligned to helping solve some of our society's biggest problems. The 4 tracks that have been selected for this conference are very well thought through. The intelligent algorithms and industrial applications, which also has applications of artificial intelligence, but also how industry can be improved through innovation, is very important. Where we stand in India today, I think this will have a lot of implications in how corporates develop innovation in-house. Entrepreneurship and innovation, of course, very interesting track. Environmental sustainability is such an important topic. And then social business and innovation, which is supported by our center that we have together with Nobel laureate Mohammed Yunus, Professor Yunus at Amity, Jaipur. I think these are important tracks. And the fact that we have researchers, and particularly young researchers from around the country and from abroad, who have contributed, whose quality of research has been carefully vetted, that have been selected to be published through a high quality publishing house like Springer, shows the outcome oriented approach of the conference. And I'm very happy that so many people have applied to be part of the initiative. I was looking at some of the numbers and how carefully the screening committees have identified the papers that will be included finally into the publication. I think that is truly excellent. I was also very happy to see that a number of the publications are collaborations of multiple researchers and scientists, and I think that is encouraging, because when we collaborate, when we work with others across universities, across institutions, even across countries, that is when we'll have better ideas. And a number of these papers are collaborative initiatives by a number of the people that have been working in these areas. Of course, to organize such an event, one needs a lot of guidance and inspiration. And Dr. Mike Hinchey is a very good friend of Amity's. He is, of course, also the president of the International Federation for Information Processing. And he is absolutely dedicated to building ecosystems of research and publication around the world. I'm not saying it because he's here, it's because I have seen him do it. He has attended dozens and dozens of conferences, to encourage young publishers, young faculty members, and his dedication is shown by the fact that at the moment it's almost 4 a.m. in Ireland. I don't think many people would have agreed to join a conference at 4 a.m. would have requested for a time change. But Dr. Hinchey, observing you now for many years and seeing your devotion and dedication to helping young faculty publish better, I think this, you are a one-man enabling ecosystem, and we are so happy, Dr. Mike Hinchey, that you have been a part of this program and have helped vet the quality and establish the frameworks of the publishing through the IEEE networks. So many grateful thanks to you, Dr. Hinchey. And we are especially thankful to Ms. Shuchi Sharma, who is an extraordinary administrator. Many of you in Jaipur have known her, have seen her. There is not maybe a major portfolio in the bureaucratic systems in Rajasthan that she has not led in some ways, but she is known as a compassionate leader. When she was looking after the JDA, when she was looking after the transport portfolios, she has always looked at what can I do for humanity? How can I make sure that the lives of people in Jaipur and in Rajasthan are improved? When she was looking after rural development, she did incredible work to look after women and children in rural areas. And she is an icon as a leader in Rajasthan. We are so grateful, Ms. Sharma, that you have joined. I always say that when we are operating as Amity University Rajasthan, we have a number of stakeholders in the government, and your enabling frameworks that allow us to operate so autonomously and with quality and excellence is very much appreciated. You have formerly been the Secretary of Higher and Technical Education, and your vision of what education should be is something that we have all drawn inspiration from and have been motivated by. So, Madam Sharma, we are very grateful to you for gracing today's occasion. And as a representative of the government system, I can assure you that Amity University Rajasthan will continue to grow in leaps and bounds and make the state of Rajasthan proud, as it is over time propelled into the list of top universities, not only in the country, but also in the world. And that is our absolute commitment to you and all people involved in the government in Rajasthan. My compliments to all of the organizers, Dr. Manju Kaushik, As a woman scientist, as a woman faculty, I'm very proud of your leadership of this event. We want more women to step forward and do so well. Ravi Verma, thank you so much for your introductory thoughts and remarks and your enthusiasm and energy for the event, and all of the people organizing, all of those who are online from across the country. I encourage you to visit the university when things open up, which should be very soon. Keep researching, keep pushing the boundaries on what is possible for you. The more you research, the better you will do as a faculty member. The more you research, the more value you will bring to your students. And apart from publication, also think about patenting your ideas. Publish, but patent also, commercialize your technologies, and always think about, as a faculty member, as a researcher, what is the end impact I'm having on society? Because when your work is translated to help the common man, that is when you're doing your job as an academic and a researcher. And we at Amity are always there to support and guide you. May you be from within the Amity network or from any other institution. We are all partners in this journey. So with these few words, thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be here. Dr. Jain, you have done a great job. You are a wonderful administrator. You have my full confidence. So thank you, Dr. Jain, for putting this together.
Thank you very much, sir. Your words are always very impactful and inspiring. It is my pleasure to introduce Professor Mike Hinchey, President of IFIP, the International Federation for Information Processing, as the guest of honor. Mike Hinchey is Professor of Software Engineering at University of Limerick, Ireland. Prior to joining Lero, Professor Hinchey was Director of the NASA Software Engineering Laboratory. He continues to serve as the NASA expert. In 2009, he was awarded NASA's Curley Award as Innovator of the Year. Professor Hinchey holds a BSc in Computer Systems from University of Limerick and MSc in Computation from University of Oxford, and a PhD in Computer Science from University of Cambridge. Professor Hinchey is author, editor of more than 15 books and over 200 articles on various aspects of software engineering. At various times, Professor Hinchey previously held positions as full professor in Australia, UK, Sweden, and USA. He is a chartered engineer, chartered engineering professional, chartered mathematician, and chartered information technology professional, as well as a fellow of the IET, British Computer Society, and Irish Computer Society. He is president of IFIP, International Federation for Information Processing, and vice chair and chair-elect of IEEE UK and Ireland section. He is also editor-in-chief of Innovations in Systems and Software Engineering, a NASA journal and journal of the Brazilian Computer Society. I request Professor Mike Hinchey to deliver his address.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Thank you, Dr. Chauhan. Thank you for your very kind words. I really appreciate it. It's always a great pleasure to join my friends at Amity University. As you know, I've been many times to Amity in Noida and Greater Noida. Although I've been to Amity in Rajasthan, I've not had a great opportunity to visit there, so I hope to fix that in the near future and have an opportunity to visit your campus there again. It's wonderful to be with you, and congratulations to the organizers for putting together such a very, very impressive program. It's very difficult to do it in these times, but in fact, the mere fact that we're using a platform like Zoom, and there are several other equivalents, of course, it shows us how innovation is driving and empowering us, and how innovation is making things possible for us. And what I'd like to do is talk to you for the next just a couple of minutes to regarding how software is contributing to driving and providing trends in entrepreneurship and making sustainable development possible for us. So we're in the situation where we're using software for just about every form of transportation. Nowadays, we're using it for virtual transportation, in that it's letting us join each other in events such as this. I tell people I live 217 kilometers from Dublin Airport, and there is one set of traffic lights between my house and Dublin Airport, and it's about 50 meters from my house. And I have a colleague who's obsessed with getting rid of this on the basis that cars will all talk to each other, we'll have self-driving cars, and until we do, we'll have cars that can communicate with each other, can find their own way, can collaborate together, and make transportation safer and more efficient. Of course, I've worked for about 20 odd years for NASA in various forms. We've been working on the largest software mission in history, which is the mission currently known as Artemis, after the goddess of the moon, previously known as Ares, after the Roman equivalent of the god Mars, and Orion, based on the name of the capsule that will be used to take humans back to the moon and ultimately onto Mars. And of course, it's very appropriate to talk about that in the current weeks because many countries, including India, have missions to go to the moon and Mars. And just last week, we saw the very successful landing of the latest Mars rover, Perseverance, which is already sending back wonderful information and wonderful pictures from the planet and actively seeking proof and evidence of life on the planet at some point. Whether it's there right now or not is a different matter. So we've already seen how software is used in so many fields, such as manufacturing. We already talk about Industry 4.0, and we're talking about Industry 5.0 already. We see how it's used in all sorts of production and energy production, and we see how it's used in all forms of telecommunications. And unfortunately, in the last year or so, we've seen how important software is to us in diagnosing people who are sick, in treating them in hospitals, and of course in tracking and tracing people who might be infectious and spreading disease. A lot of that is based on a very simple device that many of you have in your pockets or on your desk in front of you, a smartphone. And this can be used for so many things to collect so much data and provide us with so much information. All of this being useful in driving innovation. Indeed, so much commerce and so much work is now done online and using software as a means of empowerment. That innovation is the source of the empowerment. So we're in a situation now where the biggest bookstore in the world is Amazon. But of course, Amazon isn't really a bookstore. They do have warehouses of books, but what they really do is provide a platform for people to sell their products, and in many cases, small companies and small organizations to sell their products on the world stage. The largest fleet of cars in the world is Uber. Uber owns very few cars, but it allows people to work and be employed as drivers using an app, using innovation that enables them to find customers and to process their payments, etc. altogether. But of course, when we have the advantage of being able to do things online, we're also at risk because we leave ourselves open to fraud, to hacking, to various forms of criminality. You may recall in the middle of last year, there were a number of hacks on Twitter accounts and postings like this one that you see on the screen right now. And it wasn't just Barack Obama, it was several politicians and people from Hollywood and well-known names. Their accounts were hacked and these sort of postings were made. The good thing is that the people who were fooled by this and thought that this might be real probably just didn't have the wherewithal or the ability to go and buy Bitcoin and to send it, and therefore they probably weren't really tricked. So they might have believed that this was an opportunity for them when it wasn't, it was a fraud, but at least they didn't have the ability to fall for the fraud and to be tricked by it. So we're actually moving towards a situation that I like to describe as a cyber-physical social system. That is cyber because we're basing it all on software, and that software will be used as the basis for all of our innovations. Physical because we connect devices to the real world, be it our phones, cars, wearable technology, sensors and actuators all over the place, and social systems, in that we're providing all sorts of data about ourselves, where we are, our likes, our dislikes, our activities, even our health, and we're providing this information online to our friends and our colleagues. But of course, that information is also available to companies who want to sell us technology, who want to sell us services and products, sometimes products we didn't even know we wanted, and are using this data to produce new businesses and new services. And the basis of this is new organizations that they are creating that are becoming hugely profitable, employing many people and providing great resources to many of us. But again, they are using our data to make a profit from us. So we need to be very cautious as we go forward. We need to make sure that we are improving our world, that we're using this innovation to do good things, that our entrepreneurial trends are doing good things and we're producing good for the world. So IFIP, the International Federation for Information Processing, was founded by UNESCO in 1960. So we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. And our role is partly to support UNESCO in its role in supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And you've probably heard a lot about these over the last few years, but there are 17 goals that the United Nations has set itself to achieve by the end of the year 2030. And they're all things to improve our lives and to improve the lives of everyone. So no poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education, and so on. And while for some of these, it's quite obvious where technology plays a role, for some it's probably not so obvious, but technology at worst has a supporting role and a background role to make these things possible. So the United Nations publishes what it calls the SDG Pulse, and this comes out in July each year. So in July 2020 was the last time it was published, and its goals were zero hunger, decent working conditions, industry, innovation and growth, reduced inequalities, responsible consumption, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnerships for the goals which are standard. You'll notice that in this list, it didn't have our healthcare, the biggest issue for us this year. And that's partly because these goals were set well in advance of July 2020. But we are looking at 2030, and we need to concentrate on those topics that are of interest to us right now and important to us right now. So the SDG 3 is good health and well-being. And the United Nations defines this as health monitoring via emerging technologies. So again, this is monitoring people using the devices that we have in our pockets and on our desks. Remote contact, such as via Zoom, diagnosis and treatment of patients. Population and disease monitoring, seeing where the hotspots are and where the virus, for example, is expanding. So preparing for disease outbreaks, identifying patient symptoms, following established treatment protocols, and performing remote diagnostics. Remote because we're using technology to do it. And to help analyze trends and make projections about the outbreaks, health service usage, patient attitudes and practices. So these things are exactly the sort of things that we're doing nowadays with all sorts of technology, and people are rightly using this to generate new business models and new businesses that are effective, contributing to society and profitable. And again, much of this is based on simple devices like we have in our pockets. Some of the tracking and tracing around the world has not worked very well. The UK system was highly criticized when it first came out because it simply did not work. So there were many articles, for example, here on the BBC News, asking how trackers could work well in countries like Ireland and Germany, but were complete failures in England. The Irish Times points out the reason why the technology worked well in Ireland, because 23% of our population downloaded it within the first 2 days and used it. Unfortunately, in France, they had a much smaller uptake. Out of a population of about 65 million, they only had 1.5 million people download the app, and they deleted it within a day because they just didn't feel it was useful and working. So a working technology can contribute so much and provide so much innovation for us. And that's why the Irish platform for tracking and tracing has become the basis of most tracking and tracing platforms around the world, because it was made available open source. So again, think of these sustainable development goals and what we need to do to achieve these by the end of 2030. It's not so long away, and there's a lot of work to be done, and all of these are goals that are absolutely essential and important to us. So please do look at the SDG Pulse online each year. As I say, it's published in July each year. It's very, very important to see what things the United Nations is putting emphasis on over the years, and I expect number 3, our health and well-being, is going to be very prominent in July 2021. I'd like to play you a very short video, if you don't mind, that just explains some of what IFIP does and how it plays a role in innovation and in the trends for global entrepreneurship.
IFIP is the global societies and associations committed to advancing professional and socially responsible applications of technology. Our members are ICT professionals, researchers, academics, teachers and policymakers who are focused on developing and sharing ICT knowledge and expertise, promoting global digital equity, educating and enhancing public understanding about technology and its potential, and increasing professionalism and professional standards.
IFIP runs over 100 events each year to bring together international experts on different ICT-related topics, to share the latest developments, explore possibilities, and discuss issues of relevance to the ICT profession. We're a strong advocate for digital equity and work closely with other global bodies like UNESCO and ITU to promote understanding of the issues relating to technology and to collaborate on solutions to help us achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
The biennial IFIP World Computer Congress brings together thought leaders from across the globe to share their knowledge and expertise and to discuss emerging technology issues, while our World IT Forum event, or WIT4, is specifically focused on identifying ways to enhance access to technology for developing nations to enable them and their citizens to play an active role in the global digital economy.
Our International Professional Practice Partnership, known as IP3, is the leading group driving professional standards for technologists around the world. And it was responsible for having the importance of professionalism as a key enabler of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals recognized and discussed at the United Nations. IFIP also seeks to raise awareness and understanding amongst the wider community about where technology is going, how it can enhance the quality of our lives, and how to ensure that all peoples have equal access and opportunity. We are uniquely positioned to achieve these outcomes through our global network of technical committees and working groups that bring together experts in different fields to share and enhance their knowledge and to focus attention on key issues relating to technology.
Our members have access to the biggest network of technical experts in the world, enabling them to form valuable connections, grow their knowledge and skills, and contribute to the development of new insights and global standards for ICT professionals.
So again, thank you so much for your very kind invitation to join you, and I hope to have the pleasure of visiting my friends at Amity in Jaipur in person, in reality, very, very soon. I hope you'll have a great couple of days. It's a wonderful program, some great speakers and some great topics, and I hope you'll really enjoy it and learn an awful lot. So again, thank you so much, and have a great couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your enlightening words, sir. And the point on being professional is really something which I'm taking away from the presentation.
Thank you.
I have the privilege to introduce Madam Shuchi Sharma, former Secretary to Government, Department of Higher Technical and Sanskrit Education. Madam Sharma has served in various important departments of government of Rajasthan, like District Administration, Rural Development, Municipal Corporation, local bodies, Jaipur Development Authority, Indira Gandhi Panchayati Raj Sansthan, and many more. Madam Sharma has been a part of Indian Administrative Services since 1984. She has acted as supervising authority for the administration of JDA and has contributed tremendously in slum rehabilitation. She has also acted as General Manager and Managing Director of Scheduled Caste Development Corporation. Besides the implementation of schemes for scheduled tribes, scheduled castes, and physically challenged beneficiaries, the remarkable achievement is the rehabilitation of manual scavengers of Tonk district in collaboration with Tulab International Organization. Madam Sharma won World Education Leadership Award 2020 for introducing Anandam in curriculum of higher and technical education. She is a recipient of many more national and state awards for her outstanding work. I invite Madam Shuchi Sharma to enlighten us with her wisdom.
My namaskar to all. I am first of all thankful to the organizers, to the Amity International University, Rajasthan, for inviting me in this extraordinary international conference on global entrepreneurship trends and empowerment through innovation, 2021. Chancellor Dr. Aseem Chauhan, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the visionary about this Amity world, Dr. Mike Hinchey, Dr. Manju Kaushik, Ravi Verma, the vice chancellors from different universities participating in this, and all the academicians and entrepreneurs who are participating in this extraordinary event. I am really surprised at how Amity University has coordinated with 150 eminent academicians, corporate representatives, entrepreneurs, and renowned personalities from different countries, including Australia, Bangladesh, Germany, Malaysia, Nigeria, South Africa, Canada, USA, Czech Republic, China, and so many countries. It's really, I was going through the tracks you have planned to be done in this international conference, and the advances means you are linking the discussions on innovations, uses of the latest technology of artificial intelligence, intelligent algorithms, and industrial applications with great focus on the society and environment. As Secretary Education, I had focused on this aspect only because I felt somehow that there is some disassociation between education and life. We are focusing on so many things in education, in our syllabuses, but somehow there is a great disconnect of the syllabus with the life. So I started working on that only, and this sustainable development goals are in fact they have come at the level of have been discussed, and they have been crystallized, keeping in view the plight of the people in the world. Great disparities in the income distribution. People are still fighting for the basic amenities of life: housing, shelter, food, clothing, health. I am quite impressed what Mike Hinchey has said. It's all all the innovations have to be around the social development goals, the sustainable development goals. And we will have to keep society in mind, whatever we do. The research papers which will be discussed in this forum, in this August forum, and with so many academicians and entrepreneurs sitting here participating in this conference, I think the whole thing should revolve around the life and society, the community. And here I would like to mention about the innovation I have introduced in the education system in the name Anandam. Anandam is basically a very, very simple thing. I think many universities are already following in some or the other form. But for Indian education system, it is kind of a revolution I have introduced. Anandam is nothing but it is simply interaction of the students with the community. And in the education system, we all know it very well that maybe it is done in pockets, maybe it is done through NSS or NCC, but it is not forming the holistic part of the system, of the education system. So I introduced Anandam, and in this community service projects, community development projects will be taken up by the students in every semester. It will be marked, it will be evaluated, it will be marked, it will be shown in the report cards. And it has come up so well that all the universities, despite the COVID situation in the country, despite the situation of lockdown in the state, in the country, I could manage in this 1 year, even in less than 1 year, this Anandam to be introduced in the curriculum of all the universities as a compulsory thing. And this is some great achievement, because I have, as an administrator, I have witnessed that it's so difficult for government institutes at least to introduce any change. And there is so much inertia against any new thing. Ravi Verma ji started with a very key word. He started building the new, and building the new is not something very easy in inertiatic societies. So, but thanks to God, and I think everyone understood that this is the basic thing which was missing in the education system, and it should be incorporated in education system, and therefore Anandam was accepted. It was welcome by everyone, and it was introduced so quickly despite all these hurdles of academic councils and board of studies and BOM, and so many things are there in the universities, and it has to pass through. But all the universities in Rajasthan have accepted, and even the private universities have accepted this. I threw this idea to all the universities, because my aim was to benefit all the students of Rajasthan. And in fact, not only Rajasthan, this is going to be an example for whole country. New education policy is already there, and new education policy is also emphasizing this linking of education with life, with fullness, with the social problems. So I'm loving the idea of the last track you have kept in this, of environmental sustainability and innovation, and this social business and innovation. Through Anandam, the students will be trying to understand the community problems. They will be interacting with the community. They will be taking up small projects relating to community and environment. It can be any of the sustainable development goals, like malnutrition among the children, women empowerment, or illiteracy, or problem of housing, or any other problem which are prevalent in Indian society, Indian communities. They will be taking up such projects. They will try to understand the problem, and while interacting with the community, their creative abilities will be used. They will be harnessing the creative abilities, their imaginations, and they will try to solve the problem of the community is facing. And they will be, and in that course, I think many ideas of innovation will come, many ideas of startups will come up, many ideas of new enterprises will come up while interacting with the community. Then the enterprises which will come up, they will be more useful, and more useful things will be created. which will be benefiting the community as a whole, which will be empowering the community, and it will be empowering the students. They will be, and this whole idea will be creating good leaders out of the students. So this was the idea behind, and this is an innovation I introduced in education system. And I think so many projects will be taken up by the students, and all of them will be thinking some or the other, thinking about some or the other idea of the enterprises, idea about the startups, some technological solutions. They will be patenting their, if something comes out, if they are in that course, if they discover something, if they invent something, they will try to make it patented, and I think some new things will come up. So I have, as education secretary, I was able to provide a platform for the students, an enabling platform for the students, that they interact with the community, they go on the path of innovations, and they tap their creative abilities, they tap their quotient of kindness and humanity inside them. Because I have also kept one important thing as a part of the Anandam is, they will be writing a diary every day. Every day they will be writing a good deed in the diary. And that diary will be discussed in the period of Anandam. And every day there will be period of Anandam. And no teacher is a dedicated teacher for Anandam. Every teacher will be the mentor of Anandam. They will be they will be guiding the students, just simply guiding, and rest work will be done by the students. And this good work recorded in the diary will be discussed in the period of the Anandam. And like this, I think this will evolve the goodness out of a student, out of the youth of our country, and it will emphasize the goodness towards humanity, goodness towards the society, goodness towards environment, and living in total integration with the existence, as a keeping the environment, keeping the atmosphere, the flora and fauna around, and the whole humanity around, beyond caste, beyond religion, beyond any creed, beyond any sect. So this is something, I think this is a wonderful thing I could do as during my tenure as secretaryship, and this has taken off, this idea has taken off, and it is being picked up by UGC also, and AICTE also is liking the idea. They have formed a committee and they are working upon this idea, and they are trying to introduce this idea throughout the education system. And I think this is a great innovation, a meaningful innovation. I could do it. And I hope during the discussions, the deliberations you will be doing in all the researchers and academicians and the VCs sitting here participating in the conference, they will be discussing whatever they discuss. It should revolve around the life, a quality life, and it should revolve around the empowerment of the community, so that community doesn't depend simply upon the government for everything. They try to solve their own problems. The students we create leaders of the students, and instead of problem poser, we will be producing problem solvers out of this lot. And I wish all the best. That I think the deliberations will go in right directions, and they are the deliberations which are done during this conference, and because so many participants from different countries are here, we will all of us will be enriched, and the ideas which come out will be used in furtherance of the SDGs, and for the good of the society, for the good of education system. My best wishes to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. The time is here to unravel the souvenir for ICGETEI 2021. It truly showcases the hard work of participants as well as the team behind ICGETEI 2021. With due permission of the dignitaries, we present the e-souvenir for ICGETEI 2021. Thank you very much. I would now request Dr. Chitresh Banerjee, Track Chair, ICGETEI 2021, to propose a word of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi Verma. Distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Mike Hinchey and Ms. Shuchi Sharma, Honorable Chief Patron, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan and Dr. Asim Chauhan, Honorable Patron, Professor Dr. Amit Jain, respected deans, directors, and coordinators of various institutions, Organizing Chair Dr. Manju Kaushik, eminent speakers and delegates from all across the world, enthusiastic participants, faculty members, staff, and students of Amity University, Jaipur. A very good morning to one and all present. I, Dr. Chitresh Banerjee, feel honored to propose a vote of thanks and extend my heartfelt gratitude towards our esteemed guest who, despite sitting in different time zones, took out a part of their valuable time to bless us with their words of wisdom. This carries a lot of meaning and encouragement for us. This is the time to thank each one of those without whom our planning to conduct this conference would have remained merely a planning. I would like to start by thanking the Almighty God, the Omnipresent, by whose blessings we receive the strength to hold such event. We are grateful to our patron, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Honorable Founder President, Sir Ritanand Baldev Educational Foundation, and Dr. Asim Chauhan, Honorable Chancellor, Sir, Amity University, Rajasthan, who have been the everlasting source of inspiration and motivation for all of us. We are grateful to Professor Dr. Amit Jain, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Amity University, Rajasthan, and Patron ICGETEI 2021, who has always been there as a guiding light during the planning and execution of this conference. We would also like to place on record the heartfelt gratitude for the timely advice and guidance given by the chief advisors, journal chairs, program chairs, and also by our advisory board comprising of senior members, Professor Dr. G.K. Aseri, Sir, Provost and Dean Academics, Director, Amity Institute of Microbial Technology, Professor S.L. Kothari, Sir, Vice President, Amity Science Technology Innovation Foundation, Professor Jagdish Prasad, Sir, Coordinator, Amity School of Applied Sciences, Professor Vinay Sharma, Sir, Dean Research and Director, Amity Institute of Biotechnology, Professor Rajesh S. Prasad, Sir, Director, Amity School of Engineering and Technology, Professor P.V.S. Raju, Sir, Director, Amity Coast, Professor Anurag Verma, Sir, Director, Amity School of Architecture and Planning, Professor Sanjeev Pal, Sir, Director, Amity School of Hospitality, and Professor Swapnesh Tatir, Sir, Coordinator, Amity Institute of Information Technology. We are thankful to the conference chair, Dr. Manju Kaushik, who, in spite of all the odds, stood up with great zeal to organize this conference. We express our wholehearted gratitude to Dr. Uday Bhan, Sir, Amity Business School, for applying and receiving the sponsorship from CSIR. We are indebted to our honorable guest of honor, Dr. Mike Hinchey, President of IFIP, the International Federation for Information Processing, and Ms. Shuchi Sharma, retired IAS, former Secretary, Higher and Technical Education, Government of Rajasthan, to grace the inaugural session and benefit us immensely with their profound knowledge and pearls of wisdom. I also take this opportunity to thank all the reviewers, technical committee members for providing their valuable comments on time, which I believe would have helped towards the improvement of the quality of the paper, which will be presented during the 2 days in the conference. Let us have a special mention for a wonderful and a close-knit team without whom this conference would never have taken shape. Dr. Ira Upadhyay and her team, Dr. Girish Paliwal and his team, Dr. Tanushri Mukherjee and Dr. Yudhbir Singh, Dr. Jayvardhan Singh, Dr. Sunil Pathak, and Dr. O.P. Verma Sir, Professor NIT Jalandhar, and Dr. Tarun Kumar Sharma. They helped us for the publication. I feel that when we organize a function on such a digital platform, there are lots of people who are behind the curtain
and facilitate us all possible technical and administrative help. We wish to thank Mr. R.K. Pachori and his technical IT team, media committee, comprising of our staff as well as the student volunteers. We also extend heartfelt gratitude towards the student body, which has supported this academic endeavor with great zeal. I would like to specially mention the name of head student coordinator, Ms. Shakshi Kalyani. She has done a remarkable and wonderful job. We would like to thank our non-teaching staff, support and maintenance staff who were simultaneously resolving all the secretarial and clerical work. Our sincere regards to all the keynote speakers who will be speaking on the various aspects during these 2 days. I would like to thank all the participants and paper presenters from their enthusiastic participation. And the Master of Ceremony, Mr. Ravi Verma, and his team for the wonderful stage management. Thank you very much, sir. Last but not the least, I would like to thank each one of them who have directly or indirectly helped us realize our academic dream. Gratitude. Thank you so much. God bless all. Jai Hind.